Hi friends, I'm Valeria at Chase and Paper. Welcome to my channel. So I was having tons of fun last week making these cute little tiny journals out of Sweethearts candy boxes. And these are so sweet and so adorable, but they actually have lots of writing room inside, so they are practical as well. These make great little gifts for your friends, for yourself, for your kids or grandkids. No matter who the recipient is, they're going to love going through this journal and exploring it and adding touches of their own and their own notes. These come together really quick and easy. Even a beginner can do this. And I think you're really going to enjoy this little project. So let me go ahead and show you how to make one. Let's begin with this cute little candy box. And it measures about 3.5 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide. This side measures about 3/4 of an inch. So the top of this box is already open. Of course, I had to get the candy out. And now I'm going to open the bottom. There. Now, before we cut into this box, let's figure out which side we want to make our front cover. So we have two choices. The first choice would be this side with a cutie pie on it, or this side, which has this little heart with to and from. So that's completely up to you. So here's what I like to do. I like to use this side as my front and turn this little heart into a window. So keeping in mind that this is going to be my front side, I will now go ahead and cut my box right here. There. So the box is now open flat. Now let's go ahead and cut off all the flaps that we do not need. I'm going to start with this flap right here. And now all the flaps on top and all the flaps on the bottom. And look at that, it's beginning to look like a book cover already. For my next step, I am going to go ahead and line the inside of our cover. I'm going to use this scrapbooking paper. Instead of measuring, I am going to put the cover directly onto the page and mark with my pencil. And I am going to use my Scotch permanent glue stick, covering my entire cover with glue and bringing back my lining paper. And now that I allowed it to dry for a moment, I'm going to go ahead and retrain the creases. And here we go. And now I will use my old friend, the X-Acto knife, to cut out the heart on the front of our cover. I want to keep the pink frame, so I'm going to cut just inside of that frame. Make sure to work with a sharp blade. There. And there we are. I will now use this Ranger Distress Oxide in the color Victorian Velvet to go around the heart on the inside to cover up all the little imperfections and give this heart a little more definition. I'm also going to ink around the edge on the inside to define the edges of our cover. And now it's time to add some pages to our journal. Because our journal is so small, you do not need a whole lot of paper. And I'm also going to add a couple of pretty doilies and a Valentine cupcake wrapper. These add beautiful texture and I really love to hear that crinkle. And maybe a couple of pages from this Valentine themed notepad. And I can always add more if I want more variety. And there you go, you got a stack of beautiful papers. Don't worry if the size is not perfect, you get a chance to adjust it later after you put together your signatures. Now I am planning on making 2 signatures for this little journal, and each signature is going to have about 12 to 14 pages. So next I am going to fold each one of our pre-cut papers in halves, and I'm going to continue folding all the pages and putting them inside each other in whatever order you like. So I'm going to continue putting these signatures together off camera, and I'll come right back. Now each of my two signatures has 13 folded pages. We can go ahead and adjust the size so no pages on the inside are sticking out. I'm tapping my pages into place, clipping them at the crease, and we are going to cut the edge. I'm going to go very slowly. There. I'm going to do the same thing with our second signature and cutting off all the ends. There. All set. And we are now ready to stitch our signatures in. So for now, I'm going to remove our signatures, and I am going to place this cover down like this, completely flat. I am planning on stitching our signatures in with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That means I'm going to need 3 holes per each signature. I keep in mind that we need 6 holes, and I'm going to put 2 holes near the center first. And now I'm going to use a ruler to make sure that my holes are actually on the same line. A top hole and a bottom hole. There, 3 holes. Now I'm doing the same thing for the second line of holes. There's the hole right there, and there's one right here. Now I'm going to use an awl to pierce these holes right on the marks. And now we have to poke the corresponding holes in our signatures. I'm taking the first page out of my signature, and I'm aligning it with the first line of holes. And I am marking the holes that we pierced on our cover. I'm marking them with a pencil on my paper. Then I'm going to open up this paper and pierce the holes with an awl. There. All 3 holes are pierced. Now I am placing this paper in the center of our signature, like this. And now once again with my awl, I am placing the holes, and I'm using the holes we already placed in that first page as a template. And I poke all 3 holes through all the pages. Now I take it out once again and put it back where it belongs, in the front. And now we are ready to stitch the signature in. I am going to use this bright red embroidery floss and a large needle. I'm going to open up my signature in the center, and I'm going to go through all the holes in the pages and that middle hole in the spine, and I pull it through. I'm going to leave a nice long tail here. Now I'm flipping this journal over, and I'm going into the top hole through the cover and through all the pages. And we come out inside. Now, make sure you still have the tail in the middle. Now we're gonna go to the bottom, and we're gonna go through this last hole in all the pages. There we go. And now back again into this middle hole. Pulling out my thread. We have 2 tails in the center, 2 long tails. And now we are going to tie 2 knots, right over left and left over right. There. And our first signature is stitched in. There it is, looking pretty cute. And now for the second signature, I am going to repeat the same process, and I'm going to come back once the signature is stitched in. And now, as I said before, I do not like this binding. It's not very pretty, so we are going to cover it up. I'm going to use this ribbon from a Dollar Tree. And to attach this ribbon, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac glue. Now, I do not want the edge of the ribbon to unravel as we use our journal. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold this little end over, put in just a tiny little bit of glue here on the bottom, and place in my ribbon just like this. And now I'm just going to fold the ribbon over to attach the rest of it. So I'm going to cover the whole spine with some glue. And here we go, folding the ribbon over, just like that. Now this end, I'm going to do essentially the same thing. I'm going to pick up this little end here and put a little bit of glue right here, and put a little bit of glue right here. And now I'm just folding it over like so. And I'm kind of tucking that end of the ribbon underneath itself. There. And now our spine looks a lot better. It is covered with a pretty ribbon. And now let's take a look at our front cover. So we have this very pretty heart-shaped window. And so now all we have to do is choose a pretty picture to show through the window. I am going to use this little piece of ephemera that I had in my collection. I kept the heart that we initially cut out from the box, and now we are going to use it to trace this picture. I'm going to trace around it, making my desired heart on this picture bigger, because this way more of the image will show up in your window. There and there. Done. We have two little sweethearts on the cover. How cute is that? Now, if you take a look at our prototype, it has this tall tag with a heart-shaped topper, and I really like that. It really adds to the look of our journal, and it makes our journal look taller. So I'm going to make something very similar with this journal as well. I cut a red glittery cardstock, and I lined the back of this cardstock with this lined paper. This way our tag is going to be a writing tag, so it's going to be useful, not just pretty. Now for the topper, I'm going to use this heart sticker. I'm planning on topping our tag right here on the very top on this side. But now if we flip it over, as you can see, the back doesn't look that pretty, right? Because we're just gonna have sticky surface. So we're going to have to cover this up. I am bringing in this pink glittery cardstock. I'm tracing the front of the heart on the back side of my cardstock. And now I'm going to cut it out. Here's our pink heart. Cut exactly in the shape of the sticker. They match up perfectly. I'm going to add some glue just in case. I don't usually trust the adhesive they use on stickers. Now I'm going to cover this heart with some glue. And we glue it right on top so that our tag is sort of sandwiched in between these hearts. There. All right. So cutting it a little bit shorter. And I'm going to round the corners. and that is what it looks like. Now let's keep going and add some more decorations. I found these hearts and arrows. These are actually cupcake picks, and I found them in the baking section of Michael's, and I thought, how fun are these? So I really want to include these into our journal as well. I'm just going to hold it down with a bit of this washi tape. This way the recipient can easily take it out if they want to. I am going to add this sticker onto one of the pages. That adds a really cute touch. And now I'm going to use a couple of these glittery hearts from a Dollar Tree. To glue them down, I'm going to use a lean sticky glue. I'm actually going to put some glue on both hearts at the same time. And here comes the first heart. And the second heart. There. I'm just going to make sure to match them up and press them together. While I was waiting for the glue to dry, I very carefully added some washi tape to decorate this page, and I added a border to a couple of pages. I will now add this sticker to this page. It's going to look really cute and create even more dimension. There. And I'm just going to cover up the sticky back of the sticker with a bit of scrap paper. So just like that. And I'm going to cut it out. And there. Now I really want to include this cute little envelope sticker, and I'm just going to paper clip it with this clip with a pink heart. There. Now I have this really pretty metallic gold love sticker, and I'm going to add it to this plain white page, and I'm going to let it extend to the side. There. And I found this really pretty iridescent pink heart ribbon at a Dollar Tree, and I'm going to decorate the edge of this white page with these hearts. And again, I'm letting those hearts extend from the page. And our journal is getting nice and full. Of course, I'm planning on adding more ephemera inside and washi tapes and stickers. But for now, let's go ahead and add a closure. For the closure, I'm going to use this gold elastic cord and the red heart button from the Paper Studio. I'm going to take about 17 to 20 inches of cord. And I am going to double it up. And I'm going to thread it through the shank of the button. And now I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the journal. I'm just going to make a simple double knot. I'm making it tight, but not too tight, because I want to make sure I still have some room for decorating and collaging. I'm going to clip the ends. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this towards the front, and I'm pushing the button over that knot. I just like to leave two of these ends dangling, and I'm going to cut the other two really short. And our journal is complete, and how cute is that? And so there we go, my friends. We made a sweet little journal, pun totally intended. It came together so quickly, makes an adorable little keepsake and a very precious gift. And it's definitely a little tiny treasure to behold. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you celebrate Valentine's Day, and if you do, what are you planning on doing? I really hope you enjoyed this little project. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with a friend and with your crafting group. Thank you so much, my friends, for spending time with me today, and I can't wait to see you next time.